Okay, Boxing Fanatics, welcome to the sixth episode of the Boxing Fanatics podcast. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by, well, now 13 and 0, Mr. Alex Murphy. Alex, last time I spoke to you, you were getting ready for, fair to say, the toughest test today against Rajesh Kumar.
Yeah,
But it's fair to say, you passed that with flying colours. How do you reflect on that performance?
yeah, really good performance again, mate. I was pleased. I feel like the preparation we had done leading up to it, the homework, the game plan, the tactics, everything like that worked a treat. To be fair, and like you say, passed the test with flying colours again. One of my best performances to date, and mentally in there, it's probably the best I've ever felt. Like I felt very present from the very start, and constantly thinking, and just felt good. I was comfortable in there, and just like boxed well. So I was really pleased with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yeah, Rajesh was definitely on paper your toughest opponent. So
Yeah.
that was a good win. But I think the most interesting thing is that it's led to you
Mhm.
landing the biggest fight of your career. Obviously, seen on Twitter on April the 5th, you're going to be on the undercard of Dillian Whyte versus Joe Joyce, live at the Co-op Arena in Manchester. And you're going to face a fellow unbeaten fighter, Khaleel Majid, who's, I believe, 14 and 0
Mhm.
in an English title eliminator. Yeah, massive fight for your career. How excited are you for that opportunity?
Oh, mate, that's it. I mean, how exciting is that? You know what I mean? We're on such a big platform, such a big card at the Co-op Live. An arena I've been watching the boxing now 3 times already, and it's such a good venue, such a good stadium. I absolutely love it there. So, absolutely buzzing to box in there myself. In a what a cracking fight like this is set up to be. 14 and 0 versus 13 and 0. Like these are the fights that I want. These are the fights that get me excited, and I'm just buzzing now. I can't wait to go. There's only 5 weeks to go, and it's like it can't come quick enough.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. I saw on social media you said from bowlers to co-op, and yeah, it's I guess it's all coming kind of together. It's coming, as I'm sure you think, maybe as at the right time. I did notice actually Majid is actually from Bolton as well. So is there any like history there? Like, do you know him personally? Have you ever sparred him? Anything like that?
No, no, it's mad actually because he only came on my radar last year. And by radar, like I only found out who he was last year. He was in my gym sparring, but it wasn't me. We had another coach at the time, Haroon Headler, who had other pro. He had his own pro fighters, and he was coaching them pro fighters out of my gym. So it was after one of my fights. It was a week after a fight. I can't remember what fight it was, sometime last year. And obviously, I was in the gym the week after, but I was having a rest week, so I weren't training. But I was in there coaching, and it was through the day one time, and he was in sparring, one of Haroon's boxers, Adam Surkar. And I watched him because obviously his coach was there as well, Buddy McGurk, who's a bit of a legend. So obviously I took notice of his sparring, and I remember really liking his style. I think he's a good boxer. I think he's nice and tidy, and in a way he's got a similar style to myself. He's tall, he's long, and he boxes well. So that was the first time I'd ever heard of him. And then obviously I looked him up on BoxRec. He had a good record, from Bolton, and I was surprised I hadn't heard of him before. And then obviously he went out of my head and never heard about him again on and but then I fought on Friday just gone, and he was on the bill. So he come up again, and then there's an article that got put out, I think it was on the Boxing News, and they were just like doing a bit of a write up for the show, and like they said, obviously, Alex Murphy will be on as co-main event, and Khaleel Majid will be headlining. Both 140 pounders. Is this a fight that could be set up for the future? But I had never heard about this fight before. It was my manager who sent it me, and I was laughing. I was thinking, "Who's wrote that? Someone's just stirring a little bit there. Insinuating a fight between me and Khalil Majid." But I hadn't heard at all about the fight. So at that point, it was just like somebody just maybe mentioned it. It'd be a good fight to see.
Mhm.
So then anyway, the week before my fight, on Friday, that's when I got the call and said, obviously, Frank Warren's offered this fight, Khaleel Majid, on the Dillian Whyte and Joe Joyce undercard. Like, what do you think? This is what my manager said. What do you think? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I said this to him, and I've said this to my coach. I'll fight anybody. I'm not bothered. I'm never going to turn down a fight. At the end of the day, my manager and my coach are guiding my career. So I said, if you think this is a good fight, you think it's a good opportunity, and you think that I beat him, and you're happy with it, then yeah, I'll say yeah. I'll always take the fight. So anyway, my manager was like, yeah, no, I think this is a really good fight, really good opportunity, and like, yeah, I think it's a perfect fight for you. So. Like, are you happy with it? So I said, yeah, definitely. And my coach was happy with it. He thinks it's a good fight for me to have right at the right time. So, so I said, yeah, go on then. So it's funny because obviously I found out, the week before the fight, like leading up the build up to the fight. I think I found out on the Monday that I was then going to be fighting Khaleel Majid after this. So, yeah, it was quite funny then because I didn't really know what to expect because I would have seen him in the build up, like at the weigh in and at the fight, and yeah, we've just not even looked at each other or spoken to each other. So it's just one of them. But no, I'm looking forward to fighting him. I think it's going to be a cracking fight.
Yeah, that is interesting. What a coincidence. He's literally in your
Yeah,
gym and you didn't you didn't
yeah,
like spar or anything like that. That's crazy. I mean, I was looking at his record and he's actually quite, I guess, quite similar to yourself in that he's kind of been on around on different promotional shows as well. He's been on a
yeah,
Wasserman card like yourself. I think he's
yeah.
been on a Conlon card. Uh, and obviously you're both going to be on a Frank Warren card. So you mentioned his style a little bit. So would you say stylistically it's going to be kind of like a pure, I don't know, I guess a pure boxing fight? You both, would you say you're quite similar in some ways then?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say we're both very good technically, and yeah, it is going to be a good boxing fight to watch. So it's like I'm excited for it, and everyone, all my supporters and all my team, and everyone's buzzing, all my family, everyone's buzzing for it. So, um, if a fight excites other people, then it excites me, and I think that this is what's happening now. Everyone's excited for it, and it just makes me even more excited.
Yeah, yeah, and I think, I mean, I guess this is what you were kind of looking for because I remember last year you were saying that you wanted to kind of take that step up to
Yeah,
kind of title level or eliminator level. So yeah, I guess now's the time, isn't it? Now the time has come. You've been a pro now, yeah, 3 4 years.
yeah,
So yeah, the time's come. I mean, with Majid, I guess the thing that stands out about his resume is actually he has got I guess quite a decent win against Tom Farrell. That's probably the win that stands out on his
yeah.
box. Do you take much into that win? What do you make of that on his resume?
Yeah, no. To be honest, like obviously it's a good win for him on paper. It looks good on his box rec. I've not actually watched it myself yet. I watched his fight on Friday. He was on after me. So once I finished my fight, I sat down and watched him. And that so far is the only bit of homework I've done on him. I've still got that to do over the next few days. Like I started back my training on Thursday, just gone. But obviously, with it being the end of the week, it was just a technical session Thursday, a bit of an hard session on Friday, rested on Saturday, and then just a technical session today. So, like tomorrow, the start of the week, this is really then when we start kicking on for the next 5 weeks, and so now over the next couple of days, it's mine and my coach's job to do our own work, and I know my coach Brian has watched him, and he's got the tactics and everything he wants me to work on. But I need to do the watching myself. Like I say, it's something I've not done yet. So I'll watch the Tom Farrell fight, and I'll take some bits from it. But yeah, certainly it's a good one on his record to have anyway.
Yeah, 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 for sure. And I guess, what would it mean for your career at the moment to win this fight? I mean, I'm surely it feels like there's a lot on the line really, because it's obviously two prospects meeting. Um, yeah, would you say this fight is, I guess you're still very young, so it's not like must win, but it's kind of a pivotal moment, a win could propel you, really forward, get you out there. How are you looking this fight? What would it mean for you to win this fight, basically?
Yeah, I mean, and it'd mean everything. Like this is my world title fight. Like you say, it's the biggest fight in my career. and I'm going to be fighting like it's everything, like it's make or break. Like you say, obviously it isn't. I'm still young and whatnot, and but like to me it is. This is it. Like this is a fight I must win. Um, and it's a fight that I'm hungry for, because yeah, it's you win this fight and the world's my oyster. Hopefully get there's every chance getting signed with Frank Warren if I get this win. I'm doing very well with tickets. Tickets are flying out, so I know Frank Warren's going to like that a lot. Um, and yeah, it's an English eliminator, so win this, and then I get me shot at the English title, which is the plan. Obviously, was to fight for that at the end of the year.
Mhm.
Win this, and it's probably gonna might come a bit sooner, might come in the middle of the year. But we're on track. Everything's on track. So I'm gonna be doing everything I can to really push and get the win on the 5th of April. And yeah, it'll propel my career, and ticket sales again will just increase. Get this win and then fight for the English, and then I'll sell more tickets, and it's massive for my career. Like I feel like this is yeah the pivotal moment of get this win, and that's it. Then I've hit jackpot really with the career and where I want to go. So yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, to be fair. I think there's definitely potential for, I mean, from what I understand, I don't think Majid has a long-term contract, I don't believe, with Frank Warren. I don't think so. Both of you are kind of, yeah, you're both looking, let's be honest, you're both looking for that multi-fight
Yeah.
deal. So,
Yeah.
yeah, is that how you're thinking? Do you believe that, if you win, you put a good performance in, yeah, do you think there's a good chance that, yeah, Frank Warren will sign you up and then you'll be a regular on his cards, basically?
Yeah, exactly that. I think I will. I mean, I don't see why not. If I get this win, 23-year-old with a big following, a big career, ahead. Um, it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I? I feel like if I beat Khaleel Majid, I've proved like I'm a serious fighter. I'm not just a ticket seller. Like I'll prove that I can actually fight, and I can and I can win big fights. So it's like I feel like why wouldn't I? So yeah, that's what's in the back of my mind now. It just makes me more hungry, drives me even more. Get this win, and then get a multi-fight deal with Frank Ward, and then that'll set me up really nice.
And what a card to be on, to be honest. I mean, I'm loving the look of that card, to be fair. I mean, yeah, Dillian Whyte, Joe Joyce. I mean, that's gonna be a good fight. But then obviously you've got David Adelaide versus Jamie TKV, Lawrence Okoli, Richard Riakporhe. So
Yes.
brilliant night of boxing, to be fair. Does it
Yeah,
make it even sweeter that, yeah, you're on, well, arguably one of the British cards of the year, to be fair.
yeah, it does. Well, yeah, like you say, mate, what a card to be on. Everyone loves Dillian Whyte, and he's got a tough test there with Joe Joyce, and that's going to be a cracking fight. Like I'm looking forward to watching the fights after my fight. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, so it's a great card to be on, and obviously there's a bit of needle between Riakporhe and Nicole there, so I'm gonna be all in that build up, all the press conferences and the media and the public workouts and weigh-ins and stuff like that. If it kicks off there, I'm gonna be amongst it all, and it's exciting, isn't it? So yeah, mate, I couldn't ask for a better card to be on.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And yeah, what a great card to be on. Is there anything different? Are you doing anything different for this fight compared to previous fights? Obviously, you know, I guess the circle. There's so much on the line this fight. Is your preparation different at all? Or is it kind of similar? Are you incorporating any, I don't know, any extra strength conditioning for this fight? Like, how is the preparation the same as other fights in this one, or are there some differences?
I mean, yeah, obviously the preparation will be similar. Like the differences will, be sparring partners and, the rounds and everything like that. A different something different already, which I'm experiencing, is like going straight back into camp. Off like finishing a camp, fighting, having like what I've had 5 days off, 6 days off, and then straight back into it again. I've not experienced that before, but I think it's going to do me the world of good. Just going straight back to it, because I'll be staying fit, and I'm just going to be building on that fitness. Obviously, it's a 10 rounder, so it's I've not done 10 rounds before, so I need to be even fitter. But no, like strength and conditioning, I do that twice a week anyway. I've always done that. That'll stay the same. Um, and then like the boxing sessions, the schedule that we have, for the boxing, the sparring will be getting set up over the next couple of weeks, and whether that be in the mornings or whether it'll be at the night times. But no, it'll be no different to what I'm used to, and I suppose what works. Everything's worked well for me so far, so why change something that works? But yeah, really the only thing that's different will be the opposition that I'll be sparring with, and the different styles that I'll be sparring with. Because don't forget, the last two opponents that I've fought, they've been a bit smaller than me, haven't they? Whereas Khaleel Majid's a bit bigger than me. So, sparring's going to be completely different, and tactics will be completely different as well. So, really, that will be the only difference.
I did see on Majid's box track, he has weighed in a bit higher I think, I believe in the mid 140s.
Yeah.
So he might be naturally bigger. To be fair, what kind of build up do you think we're gonna get? I mean, I don't know. From what I've seen, you both strike me as quite respectable characters. But do you think there's gonna be any needle in the build up? Do you reckon?
Not from me, no. I don't plan on initiating anything anyway. And like you say, I'm not sure what kind of character Khalil is because I don't know him, but he strikes me as the type to just what crack on and want to fight. If he gives me a bit, no doubt I'll give a bit back. But as far as I'm concerned, it's all respect there, and at the end of the day, I just want to fight. I'm not bothered about trash talking or trying to sell the fight, anything like that. At the end of the day, I just want to fight, and hopefully, Clue will be the same. So yeah, I can't imagine there'll be any bad blood there, but we'll see. We've got 5 weeks to build up. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be a definitely different experience because it's like, naturally, there's more of a rivalry there. When you're facing, like if you face like a journeyman, for example, they haven't got the same level of ambition as someone like Khalil. You're literally fighting for that, yeah, for that, I guess, that life-changing opportunity. So
yeah.
it wouldn't be surprised me if there was a bit more needle because it's just rivalry at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like it's bragging rights as well. Obviously, he's from Bolton. I've got massive connections with Bolton. Although I live in Salford and I'm from Salford. It's like my football club is Bolton, and a lot of people see me as a Bolton boxer, and Khalil is a Bolton boxer. So I suppose it's a bragging rights to Bolton there. So yeah, like you say, there might be a bit of a rivalry there in the build up, and I'm not. I wouldn't shy away from it, but just my character, my personality. I'm not one to initiate anything like that. I'm like I say, I'm not bothered with trash talking or building a fight. I just want to fight.
Yeah, I wonder who Khalil supports. Does he support Bolton as well, do you reckon? Or
I don't
a
know.
Man
I
U
mean,
fan, maybe?
yeah, whether he's a Bolton fan or not, I suppose I'll have to ask him after the fight. But he might not like football, might he not? He might just be into his boxing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, look, it's a great fight. I think a brilliant addition to the card, to be honest. That's exactly what a card like that needs. Two British prospects going at it.
Yeah,
English title eliminators. I guess if we're being honest, that's what's kind of missing from these Saudi cards. We love the Saudi cards, but we also, I guess, boxing purists like myself do like to see, those coming through as well. Those, the guys who are, English, looking for that first title in their career. Because sometimes I think historically, English title fights, British title fights, they always tend to be, great scraps. To be fair, so you know,
that's it. It's like, yeah, like you say, it's always the up and coming prospects who are fighting for these English and British titles. And like I said, these are our world titles. We're going to put in everything on the line, aren't we? So yeah, they do turn into like really entertaining fights. And I hope I'm going to be in an entertaining fight with Cleo. That, like I say, these are the fights that get me excited, and I want to be involved in. So yeah, I'm ready to put it all on the line, mate, on the 5th of April. I can't wait.
100%. We'll all be tuning in for that. Great card, great fight. Alex, I just want to also touch about just some general boxing news in the boxing world. Let's start off with Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Labeled, well, but I guess by some boxing purists like myself, a bit of a gimmick fight in some ways because both of them have yet to kind of win a legitimate world title, and
Yeah,
I don't know, it kind of feels a bit forced. I don't know if you've been watching the build up this week, eggs getting slapped on the face and stuff, and I don't know
yeah.
what have you thought about the build up so far?
Yeah, it's hard to think. I haven't been keeping up with it really, or watching much of it. Obviously, I've seen the little gimmicks like the egg getting slapped against Conor Benn's face. I think that was genius, to be honest. I think pretty clever from Eubank to do something like that, and it's quite funny as well. Um, but yeah, I've not really been keeping up to date with it with a build up. I think it's a good fight, and everybody knows there's a bit of rivalry there, and there's a bit of like hatred between them both. But yeah, so I feel like you're right there. So sometimes it feels a bit forced, and I feel like it doesn't need to be. We already know that you don't get on, you don't like each other, so you don't need to like keep pushing that agenda. We already know that. So yeah, but I think it's going to keep being like that. I suppose that it'll sell the fight. I think the fight sold itself. It's a fight everyone wants to see now. But yeah, it's a bit mad how it's not for any titles or anything like that. It's just a fight that's being made for nothing. But I suppose fair play to them both for taking that, and I'm sure it will be entertaining.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those fights that really attracts like a casual audience because maybe people who don't watch boxing regularly, they're gonna obviously see they'll probably remember Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. and they'll see the names and yeah, it's quite a cool concept, isn't it? That the sons are fighting each other, but obviously, they're two weight divisions apart and yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean, it's one of those fights as well that I think, we're still gonna watch it, even though it's a bit of a gimmick,
Mm.
it's a bit forced. We're still gonna watch it. I think if anything, that egg slap actually made it feel more real. To be fair, I
Yeah,
think that was actually needed in a weird way.
yeah,
Because the press conference, even though Eubank was doing quite a good job of kind of selling it and being rude to Eddie Hearn and stuff like that, I feel like the egg actually brought some yeah, real, I
yeah.
guess, animosity to it. At this stage. How are you seeing the fight going? Do you think it's too much of a jump for Conor Benn to kind of drop two weight divisions and are gonna beat Chris Eubank?
I mean, possibly, yeah, it could be. I think I am swaying more towards Eubank to get the winner. I do rate Eubank. It's one of them. I've never really liked Eubank as a person. I've never like really liked him, but now it's more so I don't like Conor Benn. So it's like I prefer Eubank a little bit more for this fight. But although I've never really liked Chris Eubank, I've always rated him a lot, like his boxing. And yeah, maybe he might just be a bit too big and too good for Ben, but um, Conor Ben seems hungry and he's pretty vicious and with his style, but it's just whether the build up's going to get the better of him and it's going to be a bit wild rather than channeled, his aggression and I think if he's wild with it, I think Eubank's too smart and too good to let any of that get to him. And I think could be an easy night's work for him. But I think it all depends how Ben comes into the fight. If he can like channel that aggression and box well and be accurate with his shots and hurt Eubank, then it'll make for a cracking fight. I'm not writing Ben off. I think he could win that fight, but yeah, I just think maybe Eubank might just be a bit too good, too experienced, and too big for him.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely fair. And Chris Eubank Jr. did say that, it's kind of he's used to being the villain.
Yeah,
But now it's like two villains in there. Obviously, the
yeah,
failed drug test of Conor Benn, that's got a lot of people back up. We still don't know to this day the actual explanation, which is crazy. We just know that he's been cleared.
mm,
Um, but I mean, to be honest, I kind of agree. I find Chris Eubank just a little bit like frustrating because I do think there's a lot of talent there, and I just feel like at this stage of his career, why is he not fighting for a world title? Why is he not fighting? Erislandy Lara is 40 years old. I mean, surely he has a chance to win that. I mean, I think Adamez and Janibek, I think that would be a tough ask to be fair. But Lara, I mean. I think that's winnable for Chris Eubank Jr. So I don't know. For me personally, I find it a bit disappointing
mm,
that he's kind of gone this route. But look, I mean, some people say it's prize fighting, isn't it? It's about making life
mm,
changing money. But I feel
yeah.
like Chris Eubank has done that already. But uh,
Mm.
obviously for yourself, have you ever experienced? What's your experience sparring people who are naturally bigger than you? What's it kind of like? So let's say you're in a gym. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
any experience at this. obviously you're super lightweight slash lightweight, and I don't know, have you ever sparred anyone who's, I don't know, who's walking around a bit heavier, like maybe let's say that they're a welterweight or
Yeah.
like middleweight? What's it like when you're in the ring with them? Can you feel the difference in kind of physicality or?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I've sparred, I've sparred, people up to middleweights. To be fair, and there's just a big presence in there. And I think if they're experienced with it as well, you're gonna really struggle. Like you can really struggle. So like the more inexperienced bigger lads who I've sparred against, I can get away with like doing things that I probably wouldn't if they were more experienced, but. I think it's just it's just the size and like when you're in a clinch and stuff like that, it's hard to break free and push them back and like get your own way in there. So it's like it's something like Ben could struggle with obviously being a smaller fighter, but again, it'll just depend how Ben prepares for the fight, and no doubt he'll be getting plenty of sparring with people who are naturally bigger, and it probably won't be a shock for him in the fight if he prepares well. But yeah, I think you're right. It does play a big difference. So yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that we have heard that Conor Benn sparred people heavier and, drop them and stuff like that. But then again, in Conor Benn's last two fights at like middleweight, he hasn't really put a dent in his opponents. So
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting. I mean, whether we like this fight or not, I think we're all going to tune in and just see what happens. Let's move on to Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach.
yeah.
So Davis, wow, suffering a draw last night. I mean, a massive favorite going into the fight. Yeah, it really went under the radar this fight. People not really giving Lamont Roach a chance, to be honest. But I've just watched it this morning, and yeah, Lamont Roach really held his own. I don't know if you got to watch this fight, but what's your reaction to this result? Are you surprised at all that Davis suffered a draw?
I am, yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't watch the fight last night. I was watching the Crocker and Donovan fight last night. And then went to sleep after that. But obviously, there's quite a lot of controversy there in terms of Gervonta Davis got the draw, but then like he took a knee and went to the corner, and he should have got counted for that if you ask me, and should have lost the fight. But like I say, I can't comment on the actual fight. The only thing I've seen from the fight is him taking a knee and going to his corner. So I can't comment whether it should have been a draw or shouldn't have been a draw, but yeah, it was surprising. No, like when I woke up this morning and saw the result, yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah, yeah, that is a big talking point. He took a knee, and the referee didn't. The
Mm.
referee started counting, then he stopped counting.
Weird.
It was weird. It was weird, but I guess we see it unfortunately in boxing when there's the A-side fighter. Sometimes they get away with stuff like this, unfortunately, and it does put a bit of a it does stain the sport a
Yeah.
little bit. Do you think Davis? I mean, do you think Davis needs to take on better opposition? I mean, after last night, he probably doesn't want to take on the absolute elite. But are you kind of like myself? Do you feel like it's a bit disappointing that Davis hasn't kind of fought, I don't know, fellow pound for pound stars like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah. I think he needs to now. I think. Yeah, there's no more, like there's no more chance for him to not fight. He's like Shakur Stevenson. A lot of people feel like that's going to set up for a nice fight with Shakur and Tank because, a lot of people weren't impressed with Shakur against Josh Padler. So now, people aren't impressed with Davis, against Lopez. So it's like it will set up for a good fight there for them too, I think. And I think it's a fight that the fans want to see and a fight that, should happen.
Yeah, 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 100%. Since you watched the fight last night, then Crocker versus Donovan, obviously that was also more controversy. Like boxing, we can't escape the controversy, I suppose. I
No.
remember watching it, and obviously, for anyone listening, Donovan was disqualified for headbutts and then hitting after the bell. What did you think of the referee's decision?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just frustrating that Donovan did what he did because
Mm.
he was winning the fight, clearly winning the fight. He had Crocker hurt, and like he didn't need to do that, did he? He did not need to do that. But So it's like you can't really like blame the referee. I mean, what he took 2 points off him already before that, a headbutt and an elbow, and so it's like he's just giving the ref every opportunity to disqualify him. Then obviously hitting him after the bell. Like what more does he expect the ref to do? You can't just keep warning him and keep giving him points off. Um, but yeah, he didn't need to do any of it because he was schooling it, wasn't he? He was winning the fight all day, and like I say, he had him hurt. But whether as a boxer, the controversy is whether he heard the bell or not. But as a boxer, I've been in there 13 times, and not once have I not heard the bell. But at the same time, I've never fought at an arena where it's packed out and dead noisy.
Mhm.
So, I can't actually say, yeah, he definitely heard that bell because I've not been in that situation, where it's a big fight like that and the noise is very loud. So, um, but yeah, it is a shame for Donovan because, like I say, he was winning that fight and it's an awful way to win for Crocker, isn't it? I won't like to be Crocker at that point. He was looking for his way out, wasn't he? And like I say, he was hurt, and I don't think he wanted any more of it. So he's got very, very lucky there with the disqualification. But I won't like to accept that if I were Crocker.
He was in a state, Crocker. I mean, I think one of his eyes was shut. You couldn't see out of
Yeah,
his right eye. And
yeah,
I agree. I was just frustrated watching that fight because, to be honest, to the referee, he gave him multiple warnings.
yeah. You
And I
did,
don't
yeah,
think the referee was wrong. Every
yeah,
time Donovan would just kept like bringing his head in all the time. And it was just, like you said, he was the better boxer in there. He was
yeah.
better boxer. He was the better operator in there. He was more skillful, landed better shots. And literally, Crocker was on the way out. There was no need. They're calling robbery and this, but I don't think so, to be honest, personally. I think that's their own doing.
Yeah, it's his own fault.
Yeah, so that's boxing, I guess. Alex, before we finish, um, yeah, do you have a message for Majid or for your fans ahead of the biggest fight of your career?
Just be ready, really, to Majid. Sure he will be, but I'm well up for this fight, and I'm going to be in the best shape and best condition of my life, and I'm looking to put on the best performance in my career. So, he needs to be ready. And a message to my supporters is just massive thank you to all the people buying tickets, all the messages, just all the support in general has been phenomenal. I've absolutely loved it, and to my team, and my family, everyone's so excited for it, and saying how proud they are, and it's nice to hear. To be fair, like yeah, I've come from nothing really. I could put on a message, bowlers to the co-op live, and it does mean a lot to me, and it means a lot to my family as well. So I'm buzzing to be on the show, and like I say, I'm well up for it, and also thank you to my sponsors now as well. A lot of sponsors who have been there from day one. They'll be getting rewarded having the logos live on the zone. So yeah, no, really grateful, buzzing for the opportunity, and yeah, just can't wait to go now.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we're really looking forward to it. Okay, guys. So look, thanks a lot to Alex again for joining me in this episode. If you like the episode, please like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Cheers, guys.